Hey everybody, it's time for another DIY video. So, here's what's going on. I have a friend who likes to throw parties at her house. She loves entertaining, so she's throwing a Christmas party. Sort of like the opposite of Christmas in July. And now, this is going to be a costume party, sort of. She wants everyone to come and party as though they're at the pool or at the beach. And you know, you guys have seen my beach getup. It's basically just my flip-flops, my trunks, a tank top, maybe a necklace, and my sunglasses and a hat, and I'm done. But I don't like to show my legs during the winter, just because I'm extremely self-conscious of the fact that I don't shave them during the winter. So I decided, hey, you know what? I'll just go in my boating garb, which I'm just gonna go as a pirate. So why not? I think it fits the bill. Also, this is a good opportunity for me to throw together a quick costume for you guys, because you guys haven't seen me do anything like that just yet. So, I don't do the whole, like, skirt and waist cincher or skirt and corset, pirate wench outfit. That's just not me. So, I'm gonna go with sort of a tomboy girl pirate sort of outfit. So, I have already made a trip to the Goodwill. I have already searched around the house to find some things, and I already have in mind what it is I would like to do. And so, my butt just buzzed. I think that was my phone. So, real quick, I'm going to show you guys what I found at the Goodwill and what I've already done to it. So, this is a trench coat. It has the last name Hicks sewn into it for some reason. I guess the person who owned it was named Hicks. It was her last name. So it's like a faux suede. It has a lining that is the same color. It kind of reminds me of deer skin for some reason. That's kind of what it reminds me of. As you can see, I already cut the collar off. And when you cut the collar off, try to keep it above this hem right here. That way you won't have to worry about fraying. Also, same thing with the sleeve. Now, for this, I am going to just outright remove the lining completely, because it is a big pain in the butt. And this shoulder did have a pad in it, which I already removed and threw away, because, let's face it, nobody likes shoulder pads anymore. So, now you can see here, this hem is kind of ratty looking. It's kind of funny looking because it had so much stuff attached holding the shoulder pad in place on the inside. Well, I'll show you guys how to cope with that. I am going to paint this black. This is going to be painted black, and what I plan to do is to saturate this with black really, really good. Because if you think about it, you know, pirates probably had to repair their own clothing pretty regularly. So some of their stuff probably got kind of, I don't know, cobbled together looking. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go with it. And I'm just going to saturate this funny seam, or funny edge, black. And for, like, all my edges that are not folded over and sewn, what I'm going to do is actually, oh, there's my paint. I am going to, after I paint it with black, I'm going to take the white friendship threads that I have in here, because I never ever use white, so I've got plenty of it, and just sort of do like a whip stitch around the edges so that it looks kind of like it was kind of cut up and thrown together very quickly, which technically it is. So I did save this other sleeve. When you're chopping up a coat or a jacket, it is a good idea to save your big pieces in case you need to patch something, or if you want to make a patch. Like what I'm thinking about doing is cutting a few just square shaped patches out of this sleeve and then painting them different colors and then patching them onto the vest once I'm done making it. So I'm also going to be removing a big portion of this part down below. I'm going to take these god-awful, hideous, terrible... Can you see how terrible they are? Oop, come on. Come on, focus. Look how ugly that is. That's definitely going to go. So anyway, I'm definitely going to be removing a portion of the bottom to make it a little shorter so it does in fact look more like a vest. So... And there is a pocket here, which it's a small pocket, but it's a pocket nonetheless, which might come in handy. And I'm going to try to cut below where the pocket is, so that I don't actually cut the pocket itself. But if I have to cut the pocket itself, or just remove the pocket, then so be it. I can live without pockets. But I do want to try and keep them. So And here's the shirt that's going to go underneath. I am borrowing this from my mom. It's not ideal, really. It's not really what I really wanted, but it will work, and I will get to wear necklaces with it, which is the nice thing about this nice open area and around the chest. So, but you can't tell on the camera, but it's actually sort of a off-white, like an ivory or like a tea stain sort of white, which is ideal for a pirate costume. And I do have a couple different pairs of pants in mind that I would like to wear. I have actually a black and white pair of striped leggings, but I'm not sure if I want to wear those because you can see my cellulite in them. I also have a dark red pair of pants, which will lend themselves very well to this. I have other pairs of leggings and pants, so I'm not trying to stick with just black stuff. I'm trying to go with something that has some color, because, like I said, I doubt pirates had very many good coordinated matching outfits back in the olden days. So I don't know what modern pirates look like, really. I haven't seen any, so I don't know how they dress. So, oh yeah, and my boots. My goth combat boots. If I can find them. Where are you? Here they are. These puppies. See, when I think of pirate boots, I think of buckles. So I think maybe having these two buckles would be good. But what I want to do is, I'm going to have to unlace it for this too. I'm going to have to unlace it. And I'm going to have to take some leather that I saved from the leather jacket that I cut up to create like a nice cuff to go around like the outside part of this top of where the boot stops, to make it look like it's been folded down. So I'm going to have to unlace it and do all that fun stuff. But, so I definitely have my work cut out for me, being that this party is tomorrow night, and you can see I really practically have done nothing. So I am going to finish chopping this coat to bits, and when I am finished, I will get back with you guys to talk about paint. So, in the meantime, if you're wanting to work on a costume along with me, then go grab your supplies while you've got the video paused, and just come back, and I'll see you guys in a few minutes. Okay, both sleeves and the lining have been removed. Now, what I've done now is I already put it on and checked where I think the vest part of it needs to hit me, like where I want the scoop of the vest to start and where I want it to stop. So now what's left to do, really, is mark it and cut it. As you can see here, I've got a straight pin. Now the straight pin marks where the end of the pocket is. That way I know not to mark over it. That way I won't cut over it. So, as far as marking this, I'm just going to go ahead and use a black permanent marker. I'm painting it black anyway, so it really doesn't matter, right? So, that is what I am doing right now. And, oh gosh, there's something else I was going to mention to you guys. Oh, when you are removing your lining, just simply turn this thing inside out on the hanger. That's all you have to do. And I suggest just going slow and taking your time. That way you don't like really destroy any of your seams, because you're going to need them. So, yeah. So I took off those ugly buttons. I promptly threw them into the garbage where they truly belong. So now I'm about to work on this coat and turn it into a vest like it's truly supposed to be. And I'll get back with you guys in a few minutes after I've completed a few steps. So I pinned it. I basically held it up end to end and got it to where it would be perfectly symmetrical. And I pinned it along the edge. Then I took a marker and drew where I wanted to cut, and also pinned near I wanted to cut. That way I can cut both halves at once and not have to, remeasure and refold and repin and go through all that mess all over again. I can get it all done in one fell swoop. This is just a quick tip and trick. So, okay, as you can see, I cut it. And I already identified some stuff that needs to be dealt with. For instance, this thing from the inside needs to go. I think it'll reduce weight, make me more comfortable, and it'll also get rid of that funny little pointy scrappy bit like down there. As you can see, it's not attached. It just looks kind of awkward and kind of stupid. So, what else I've done, as you can see on one side, whoop, there it is, a black mark. right on the side, right in the dip of my waist. Now what that's for is, that is marking where I'm going to attach a drawstring to kind of tighten the waist area. And so what I did is I basically just kind of got this situated where I wanted it, took the cap off the marker, and then just found like one of the seams with the marker tip and just kind of went like that. Just like that, like I'm doing right now. So that is how that is done, apparently, in the world of DIY pirate costumes when you're making a vest. So I think this vest is a good length. I think it has that nice sort of that 18th century look to it. So I'm really excited how this is going so far. I really hope it turns out the way I want it to. But right now I actually have to go put some stuff. I have to go juice a bunch of blackberries and raspberries and grapes to make the ice cubes that I'm going to put into the alcohol that I'm taking, which, by the way, I will have to explain about later, because right now we're supposed to be focusing on sewing and cutting and things like that. I'll get to the fun part, the alcohol, later. I'll see you in a bit. Hey everybody, I am back. I got the vest cut and painted. It's really cold outside right now, and it was yesterday too. That's why I didn't take my camera out with me to show you guys. But I ended up having to spray paint it because the acrylic paint just was not going to be enough. The faux suede actually really absorbs paint pretty quickly, and so you'll have like a ton of paint, but like you only get a small patch done because it just soaks it up and just drinks it like crazy. So I ended up having to use spray paint. I got part of it done last night, ran out of spray paint, had to go back to the hardware store this morning to get more spray paint. And so now it's hanging up in the garage drying. It did finally turn black though, like I wanted it to. And so I got done earlier than I thought I would, so in the meantime I'm working on jewelry and accessories. So I'm getting ready to make a little bitty drawstring pouch. So as you can see here, this is one of the sleeves from the coat that I cut up. And for a drawstring pouch, you really do want, what you want really is a nice rectangle shape, because it's going to be folded in half, and you want to have enough room to put your hand down in there, or if you just want it to be like really teeny tiny, it doesn't matter. So but either way, I'm going to use this thing here. It's a good size for seam allowance and whatnot, and I can just kind of stick it in either one of these corners really to create enough room. So I'm going to trace this, then I'm going to cut it out. And then I'm going to draw on my seam allowance. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to draw where I'm going to sew. And then I'm going to fold over and sew the parts where the drawstring is going to go through. So actually no, you know what? I might just do holes instead. I think that might be a little more authentic. Yeah, I think that will be more authentic if I just cut holes. And I do have a pair of teeny tiny scissors someplace to do that. So, alright, I'm going to see you guys in a few minutes after I'm done completing a few steps, and I'll be happy to talk to you again about the next step. Bye. Very easy stuff. You draw your lines where you want to sew, and you fold it over, you sew along the lines, and then trim off the excess. As you can see, I've done here. There's the extra that was on there. And next I'm getting ready to flip it inside out, and it occurred to me not to use my little scissors to make holes for a drawstring, but instead to use my eyelet punch, because it can also punch holes for whatever purpose you want, not just eyelets. So next I'm going to flip this inside out, and I'm going to put the drawstring in it and punch holes in it. I'll have to do a more detailed video at some point about how to use an eyelet punch or a hole puncher, so some other time. But so anyway, I am going to go ahead and flip this inside out and turn it into a little baggie, and I'll show you guys when I'm done. Okay, a really quick tutorial about how to use the hole punch. So I've got my eyelet tool, and when you go purchase one of these, they're usually anywhere from $16 to $56 at most hardware or craft stores, depending on how fancy you want to get. You can also find them online, like on Amazon. But anyway, it'll come with instructions telling you which little attachments to use. As you can see here, it's a cone and a cylinder, and real simple, it punches a hole. Now, to prepare your article of clothing, or your article of whatever you want to call this little drawstring bag, that's spray paint underneath my fingernail, by the way. what you want to do is you want to mark dots where you want to punch. You can use a ballpoint pen, you can use a pencil, you can use chalk, you can use a marker. I used a marker just because that's what I happen to have on hand close by, and if it bleeds through a little bit, that's okay. It's not a big deal because this is just for a costume. It only has to look good and last one night. So as you can see, I already did one side, and it's inside out right now, by the way, in case you're wondering. But you make sure your dots are centered, like you want to start in the middle. I started in the center and then did 2 more on each side. Obviously you can't punch a hole through your seam or else you'll damage your seam and your craft will fall apart. So what you want to do is after you've punched, after you've marked where you want your holes to go, you simply take your hole punch and you want the cone part to be on the top so that you can aim a little better because it's more narrow. And you basically just aim and you want to center the cone over the hole and over the dot, and punch. And you've got a hole. And now your little cylinder is going to fill up with the pieces that you're punching as you punch them out. And you can just take a toothpick or a straight pin or something like that and squish them out when you're finished. And you want to make sure you're keeping a good grip. These things will open up rather wide. I've got pretty big hands for a girl, and so it can be a little uncomfortable at first until you get used to it. But just make sure you keep a really good grip on your handle, otherwise you're going to end up slipping while you're trying to punch a hole, and you're going to mess up and you're going to be very upset with yourself. So, okay, one more. Alright, now let's flip it out. Okay, it's coming to life very nicely. I can't get my fingers all the way down in there. Okay. Alright, I think we just about got it. There we go. And now all it needs is a little drawstring. So what I'm going to do, here's a piece, like a spare piece from where I cut the sleeve. I'm not going to use this piece, it's too short, but you can actually get a drawstring pretty easily if you can just find a nice long piece to cut a strip off of. So I'm going to do that and then I'm going to show you guys. And here it is. The wonderful, fabulous drawstring coin purse. Does in fact have coins in it, by the way. Put it on a nice long strand so that I can wear it either as a necklace or I can attach it to a belt loop. But I'm extremely happy with how this turned out, and I really hope you have an easy time doing this if you so decide to add it to your pirate costume. I also did some necklaces. I don't know if you can really see all that well, but this is actually a carabiner that I got at the Half Price bookstore. And then these coins came from some coins I bought at Walmart, like on a chain some time ago. And then I basically just sort of jump ringed them onto this chain that I've got here, and then added the key. And I thought that looked appropriate. And I've also got a little shark tooth here. Well, not really that little, but small enough to say that it's small. The shark tooth here I've had for a very long time. I've had it since I was like in the 6th grade or something like that. And I simply just sort of strung it onto this strand of black artificial leather. So yep, those are my necklaces I'm going to wear. And so I'm going to start working on some other stuff for the costume, and I'll get back with you guys very shortly. Okay, I am back. I'm in the laundry room, in case you're wondering where the heck I am. That noise behind me is the washing machine doing its job so that I have clean clothes to wear at the party tonight. So anyway, I went to Walmart and found a good bandana that is suitable for a pirate. They really didn't have one that had just the skull and crossbones. All they had was this, really, that was suitable. So it looks too brand new. I think if you're wind worn and ocean worn, your bandana is going to be a little more faded, maybe. So I'm going to I'm going to do two things. First, I'm going to lighten the black in some bleach water, which I've got the bleach sitting right here. So I'm going to lighten it in bleach water, And hopefully it'll get it to a nice light tone. But something about bleach, guys, is you want to make sure you're in a ventilated area. I have the doors closed so that people can't hear me talking while I'm doing this, and so that people can't interrupt what I'm doing. But you want to use bleach in a ventilated area, and when you do your water, you just want to start out with just a little bit of bleach. You don't want to do a lot, because you can always just leave it in there for a long time to get the desired effect. So I'm just going to put a little bit, maybe a little more. There we go. I think that'll do it. Oh god, that stuff stinks. And damn, the washing machine is loud. Okay. Give it a little wiggle. Please don't ruin my bandana. Oh, and you want something to like poke with. So I'm going to use this brush right here. This is a good implement for poking down into the water. Alright, here we go. Let's see how this goes. I'm just going to go ahead and submerge the whole thing. I'm not going to do a test spot because I figure, you know, I just kind of want to just go with it. Because I'm going to do a tea stain on it too. And so far I don't really see much fadage happening. But I'm going to continue on, and I guess what I'll do is I'll turn the camera off and get back with you guys shortly. Okay, I just added a whole bunch more bleach because it wasn't doing what I wanted it to do, and it's still looking pretty black. So I may just have to just kind of take it like it is, because I don't want to use up all the bleach just for this one stupid project. I mean, not that it's stupid, but you know what I mean. Use up all the bleach over one thing like this, and then we're without bleach until we go to the grocery store again. That would suck. Bleach is an important thing to have in the house because it kills germs. Which means this bandana is going to be very clean. So, anyhow, I think I'm going to have to just call it a day with this bandana. And for some reason it's foamy. I don't understand why. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to just call it a day and just go ahead and tea stain it just to get the white, that nice tea stained color. So I'm going to go on and carry on with that. And I will get back with you guys. Well, it's a good thing I stopped when I did, because this is actually way more faded than I thought it was. If I had gone any farther, it would have just turned brown, which was not my goal. I just want it to be faded, not brown. So, I'd say success thus far. So, now, actually instead of tea, I think we'll use coffee, because we have that on hand, and you can just sort of use it and throw away. Also, we have some decaf we need to get rid of. Since hot water sets stains and coffee makes a stain, I figured I'll knock out two birds with one stone by soaking my bandana in some freshly brewed coffee. I used up some decaf that we didn't want, and I used some of this stuff, some instant espresso. This stuff's actually pretty handy if you're going to make tiramisu, which I'll make a video about sometime in the future. So, but here's the bandana soaking in coffee, and we're also having some of it, so that we don't have to just throw it all away. We don't want to waste it. So. Okay, so. Oh, sorry guys. I need to flip this over so I can see that I'm talking to you. So, anyway, I brought this in from drying, and still rather sticky and tacky. Like, you can probably hear it like sticking to my hands a little bit, but nothing's coming off. It's just a little sticky for whatever reason. But, excuse me, being that it is sticky, I can't risk accidentally getting paint on my mom's shirt that she was going to let me borrow. So actually I'm using one of my dad's old shirts, and I've already cut like a frayed sort of look into the ends of the sleeves. I cut out the collar, and I'm going to put like a drawstring for the collar area is what I'm going to do. But for now, what I want to do is show you guys this whip stitch. I'll show you what a whip stitch is. Hang on. Okay, now, whip stitch, basically I'm doing this to kind of conceal the fact that we've got some ugly edge here that I don't want people to really notice as much as the entire outfit itself. So, so instead of leaving it like it is, I'm just going to do this whip stitch around it, because I think it just kind of adds to the look. That way you totally transform what could be considered a flaw into being part of the costume. So, that having been said, I'm doing a whip stitch. I'm showing you guys what I'm doing. Oh, and you want to use a really heavy, like a really crazy heavy needle for this. I don't know if you guys can see it or not, but it's rather harpoon-like in nature. It's a really heavy needle. And I'm using really heavy string for this also. So, but a whip stitch is where you go, it's over and under and over and under, except you're going around the edge of something. Like, see? Okay, see here, I've come out on this side. See? And then I'm going to go under and come out, pointing out the same direction. And then I'm going to pull and pull some more and get it to just where I want it, and see? That's a whip stitch. That's pretty much how you do it. So and this is, I think this is like a faux suede, so it's kind of tough to penetrate with the needle. That's why I suggest using a really tough needle if you're trying to sew through suede or leather or something like that. So, but anyway, I actually have a whole lot of work to do. I really can't spend too much time talking to the camera. I will show you guys more another time, but right now I gotta go, and I'll get back with you soon when I get to something else I want to show you. So as you can see, I finished the costume, put a bandana on, and you can see how it turned out. You just remember how solid black it was before I started bleaching it. And then I stained it actually in coffee. So that's right, you saw the coffee. But anyway, I have on a wig on underneath here. I put some braids in the wig just to add some flair. And so I've got a shark tooth necklace, I've got my coins with the key, and I switched rings because I'm not really wearing anything black. So I put on a different ring. Finished the whip stitch on the vest, put on the shirt. I decided to wear this shirt after all because the vest was not sticky anymore. And so here we are.
I just posted it on Facebook, Michelle.
Okay, thank you. And here's the boots. I don't know if you can see them all that well, but there they are. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial video. And make sure you subscribe to my channel, like, share, all that crap. And I'll catch you guys later.